Hi guys, Chick here with episode 64. Tonight I want to talk about a prayer that I learned when I first got into recovery. Now it's spread pretty much all over the world right now, but at the time I learned it in recovery. And it's called the Serenity Prayer. And I've said the Serenity Prayer for over 24 years now on a daily basis, usually, sometimes 3 or 4 times a day. And it's a real simple prayer. It goes like this: God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. But as in most simple, easy to remember prayers, it's actually a very complex request of God. And I'm going to break it down over 3 nights, and we're going to talk about each part of it. The first part is grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change. Now, we all pretty much have an idea of what serenity is: peace, calm in the midst of a storm, um, being able to maintain an even keel in the midst of struggle sometimes. But here's where it gets complex for me. It's real easy for me at this point in my recovery to stay serene and stay plugged into God in large catastrophes, large disasters. A death in the family, a wreck, an illness, those large catastrophes in our life. It's the little ones that get me on a regular basis if I'm not prepared. Um, I'll give you an instance. Um, our neighbor 2 doors away recently got a dog, and this dog seems to be quiet all day, every day, except when I sit down to do my Facebook Live. And most times it's not a problem, but a couple of weeks ago, I could tell that I was not in a good place spiritually or emotionally, um, because the dog started barking, and I started having thoughts that I haven't had in a very long time. Dogs like, I'd like to strangle that dog. I want to shoot that dog. Now, I love dogs. I love animals. That would never cross my mind in a normal situation. But apparently, I was not spiritually connected that day. And we all run into those days. When you're in traffic and the person in front of you is going too slow and the person behind you is going too fast. None of them want to drive exactly the way you want them to drive. When we have those uh, unrealistic expectations of other people and they break them. I was sharing with somebody the other day that one of my greatest defects of character is getting upset with people for crossing boundaries I never set. All those little things, little annoyances that if I'm not careful, if I'm not prayed up, if I'm not connected, if I'm not spiritually fit, those little things will drive me up a tree. Now the good thing is I know at this point that when those things happen, to stop, say the Serenity Prayer, think about it for a minute, and realize it's really not that big a deal. So keeping your serenity in the midst of minor annoyances is sometimes way more difficult than in large catastrophes. Um, so tomorrow night we will talk about the second part of the Serenity Prayer, the courage to change the things I can. And we'll talk about that tomorrow night, one day at a time.